Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard. So pleased to be with you here today on African Diaspora News Channel. Be sure to give the broadcast a big thumbs up, and share. That way other folks will know that we're here. We appreciate that so very much. Family, listen. You all know that we have been doing coverage showing, reporting on the polls that confirm what we knew was going to happen with the Democrat Party and Joe Biden. And that is, he was going to be losing more and more Black support. We know this is taking place because folks are listening to folks like us. Is that right? Talk Black to me, somebody. And so it's certainly bothering them, and they're seeing the results of the power of we who are the Black grassroots and alternative media. Well, with that being said, we understand why we're not showing up, because we've been tricked long enough. I mean, 50, 60 years of voting for Democrats who do things for everybody but us. You know, at some point we can't get upset with them. We've got to say what's wrong with us if we continue to give power to a group of people who do absolutely nothing for us but show us and prove to us in no limit of time they can deliver tangibles for other people, but they don't for us. Well, Joe Biden and the Democrat Party do what they always do. They go to church. They run out the clock to hold on. You have Black folks to hold on, show up one more time, tell you your whole world is going to crash, democracy is in jeopardy, so forth and so on. They do all the scare tactics. They play with you right in your face. And then you run out there in desperation to save a system that does absolutely nothing for you. Well, where they do most of their lobbying for Black folk is in church. So Joe Biden decides to visit the famous and revered Mother Emanuel's AME Church in South Carolina. Watch this clip.
I understand their passion, and I've been quietly working with the Israeli government to get them to reduce and significantly get out of Gaza. I'm using all that I can to do that. But I understand the passion. Look, folks, after the civil... Thank you.
They don't realize that. You're a good man.
Well, thanks.
Okay, family, did you see? Certainly you all know about the war that's going on there in the Middle East. So some protesters managed to make their way into Mother Emanuel's church to protest that and tell Joe Biden, if you truly cared about them, because of the terrorist attack that happened right here in the United States of America with our own people, where 9 members of Mother Emanuel's church was mown down by a white supremacist, Dylan Roof. How many of y'all remember that? And the police took him to, I believe it was Burger King, before they took him to jail. Anyway, they decided to go to this hallowed ground, the place where our ancestors now, we know, shed their blood, to play on our emotions for something that is so sacred for us, that took place, I think it was about 2015. Well, Joe Biden did this because of his low numbers. And Jim Crow, because he's the other side of Jim Crow, James Clyburn, was sounding the alarm to Joe Biden. James Clyburn actually opened up for Joe Biden when he came to South Carolina, because he's a representative there. A lot of the major newspapers, including this piece from Candy Woodle, says this, that Representative Jim Clyburn, Democrat for South Carolina, said he's worried about, very concerned rather, about Biden Black voters. Specifically, it says he's not worried about President Joe Biden losing black voters who helped him win 4 years ago, but he's, quote, very concerned. Clyburn said he sat down with Biden and shared concerns, none of which are the president's handling of the job. He says, my problem is that we have not been able to break through the MAGA wall in order to get to people exactly what this president has done, Clyburn said. He said it on CNN's State of the Union. Clyburn was instrumental in helping Biden win the South Carolina primary in 2020, effectively turning his campaign around and putting him on a path to the White House. See, this is a problem with you all. And that's exactly right. He was the one that used his reputation and his political reputation, I should say specifically, and because he's such a senior congressman down south, because of his support and endorsement for Joe Biden, it didn't just deliver voters from his district and his state to Joe Biden. It actually started a domino effect in the South because of his endorsement. And that turned around Joe Biden's campaign a few years ago, because Joe Biden's campaign was looking pretty terrible then. But now James Clyburn is telling Joe Biden that he's concerned. This is the same James Clyburn. When we said we wanted reparations, James Clyburn says that's an impossibility. Research that. This is the same James Clyburn when black folks were protesting oppressive police force against us, unaliving so many of our people, destroying so many lives. It was James Clyburn that came out and said that he is against defunding the police. A piece that I have been talking about a lot, that very few, and I shouldn't even say very few, I haven't heard any mainstream media outlet discuss how James Clyburn, a long-term, deeply melanated Southern House of Representatives, was caught up in a scandal with the Conservative Party. You all know we've been talking about gerrymandering, and that is basically the manipulation of electoral maps that would cause the other side to have to basically diminish the vote of a particular people in a certain district. Remember, it's the Democrats that's been saying that this is a Republicans doing. It's them that have been saying how they're going to court to fight the Republicans for manipulating all of the maps so that they can dilute the black vote. Well, the piece that came out not too long ago showed that Democrat, long-term Democrat, James Clyburn, worked secretly, and this was credibly alleged, his team worked secretly with the Republican Party. He worked with them knowing that they were going to manipulate his people's votes, and it would ultimately dilute it, but it would keep his seat intact. Think about that. This is the James Clyburn we're discussing here today. So now you want us, you go to church, James Clyburn, you open this up. And of course, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you right now, this was a strategy that James Clyburn helped him with. He said, come on down here to the South. Some of these Southerners down here, we'll still vote for you, but you got to come and show up, Joe. We got to play on their heartstrings, and we've got to disrespect the blood of their ancestors that was shed here in South Carolina. And by you showing up and promising nothing, giving them no reparations, giving them nothing tangible and specific for your community, just by you coming here to this hallowed ground, that's going to deliver the vote, because it means something for black folks when they can have nearness to the oppressive class. They ain't got to do nothing. As long as they can smell you and whiff you, get a whiff of you, that'll do. Just like someone that has an addiction, they start scratching and itching and getting the shakes. That's how some of you all do when you don't have proximity to your oppressor. You start getting the shakes and scratching. And then I got to throw you in my own particular rehab to get you delivered. Talk black to me, somebody. This 50-some odd minute event in a black church. Number one, did you notice that it was a whole bunch of other people there? It was just like maybe a handful of the people that probably actually go to the church. You know darn well when you look out in the audience on that clip, those folks don't go to Mother Emanuel's church. So this was a political trick and choreographed. Yes. Then when the protesters got up there to protest him for this war in the Middle East, down south southern sister, the help, comes to the rescue. Now I got another name for him. I call him Long. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. These are a group of black women. And of course, you got your brothers that do the same. You know, you got your shucker and jivers and all that kind of stuff too. But specifically, the powers that shouldn't be have black women placed on certain platforms in specific situations so that they can bolster white supremacy, ally with white supremacy. And if any black person bucks against the system, they help to put you in check and criticize your own. That's what makes this group particularly egregious. They're not just panhandling for white supremacy. They actually will criticize and keep in check black folks that bucks against the oppressive system. Did you see that, sister, at the end? After the protesters protesting Joe Biden, because don't nobody like Joe Biden right now. The polls are all against him. Watch this. So as usual, it takes the most oppressed and the most disrespected group to try to save massa. So the sister at the end, screaming and hollering, he's such an understanding man. That's what they don't understand. And talking about he's compassionate. Ma'am, if you don't, sis, if you don't hush, some of us are sitting here trying to target the oppressive class and the system of white supremacy. I'm talking about politically and socially. But if we're targeting that, who's going to get hit first if you jump in front of the target? Family, we don't want to go after our people and check our people all the time. But y'all keep getting in the way. And quite frankly, because you do that, you deserve the same end as this oppressive system and the managers that run it. I can't wait to hear what you have to say below about this. My name is Vicki Dillard. Thank you so much for tuning into African Diaspora News Channel. Be sure to share the broadcast. And of course, be sure to connect with me on my website at VickiPlanet.com. I've got a brand new school that's going to change your life. My spiritual mastermind school, the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. Your life will never be the same. Give me 12 months to transform your life. It's less than a full tank of gas for a Cadillac Escalade. VickiPlanet.com. I can't wait to see you again.